don't start. Don't start without me. I didn't realize I was gonna just start playing stuff as soon as I switched scenes. Okay. Hello. So yeah, today's a very special day because, well, it's my birthday, and I decided that I wanted to do something a little different for a stream today instead of, well, just playing another game for a Sunday stream. So yeah, what I've got here is just a little, I guess, reel of video clips from a walk I took today, just to kind of give you a little bit of a peek into my life, because I find that I don't really talk that much about myself on this channel or pretty much anywhere on the internet. So I don't know if this is going to be interesting to anyone, but I thought, it's my birthday, so I can call the shots. And I feel like just, yapping a little bit about myself, a little bit about my life, and just wanted to share a little slice of my past with the rest of the world. So, yeah, I decided to go on a little walk around not my current neighborhood, but around my old neighborhood before I moved. So, this is the neighborhood around my elementary school and my high school. So, yeah, that's what these video clips will be, and I'll just play the video. So, enjoy. Yeah, this is my old elementary school, or what was my old elementary school. They kind of tore it down, so there used to be a big building a lot closer here. There's a building in the back there. That's where they moved the elementary school to. But that used to just be a big gravel field, and now, yeah, this basketball court always existed, but the school used to be like just beyond that. So, yeah, my old school kind of got torn down, but, well, I still wanted to just show this place off, even if it isn't quite the same place as I remember it from back in the day. So yeah, that was my elementary school. It was called Sir Sanford Fleming back in the day. And I don't know if it's still called that because it seems like they moved the school to like the other side of that little enclosed area. So like back when I was there was a second wing that was actually constructed while I was attending that elementary school. And then they constructed a couple of playgrounds back there behind the school. I don't know if the playgrounds survived. I don't think they did. I don't think very much of what was there when I was attending elementary school actually managed to survive. But yeah, I just wanted to show off the site just because, it was a place that I was at for a good chunk of my life, well, my younger years anyway. And yeah, just thought it'd be interesting to just, check out what's become of it. And yeah, it's completely gone. It's effectively. So this next clip is not from my elementary school. So this is going to be showing off a little playground here. This playground is actually in a park, Gordon Park, which is still in the same neighborhood as my elementary school, but it's actually the park that my high school is in. So yeah, my elementary school and high school were very, very close together. Yeah, this is the playground that I used to play on when I was really young. My dad apparently ordered that it be built, and so yeah, it was built. And apparently the city was like, "Oh, no one's going to use it, right?" But yeah, there's still people using it even to this day. Oh yeah, this. So this is my old high school. I thought I'd just show a little bit of it off here, just show the school sign out front. But I'll explain a little bit more about it in the clip. Yeah, so this is my old high school. This is actually where they filmed the Twilight movies.
So this sign at the time actually used to say like New Forks High or something.
Yeah, so that sign that you saw there, uh, yeah, that did actually say New Forks High at one point, and yeah, I remember when they were filming Twilight at the school. Like Twilight was kind of at its peak. Like it was very popular among all the girls at the school, and so I remember hearing stories about girls trying to like stalk Edward Cullen to the bathroom whenever he'd have to go to like the bathroom and stuff. Yeah, very interesting times. I was of course never really into Twilight, but yeah, that was a thing that happened while I was attending this high school. So kind of neat to be, living in that sort of, part of history, experiencing it sort of firsthand, even if it's not really something that I was particularly interested in. So, yeah.
Sign at the time actually used to say like New Forks High or something. Yeah, so this spot is interesting. Um, so yeah, this is the view at which I saw things from when I first met my ex-girlfriend, way back in the day. Good times. I haven't dated in 12 years, but yeah, a lot of memories are made here. This place actually looks pretty different from how it used to, but you're seeing the view from my point of view at the time. I was like facing the building, looking this way, and she walked out that door. And apparently she waved at someone who was behind me. I didn't realize that, but I waved back. And then she sat down here and talked with me about Pokemon, and we exchanged contact info, and things kind of hit off from there. But yeah, that was that was over a decade ago. Made a lot of mistakes, learned a lot from it. Was depressed for like 11 years afterwards, but kind of got back up on my feet and, you know, soldiered on. That's life. But yeah, this place actually looks kind of different from how it used to. There didn't used to be this like little round table here. Let me see if I can get that in view. Yeah, this there's like these stones here that you can like sit at for some reason. Well, those were not here before, so they've kind of touched up this place a bit recently.
Yeah, not really a whole lot more to say than that. Uh, it's been it's been a pretty lonely 12 years since then, but I don't know, I feel like ever since I started streaming, like even seeing just like one person popping up in chat or seeing people, watching the VODs or even lurking just makes me feel a lot less lonely. So yeah, I'm very thankful for anyone who's been showing up to these streams, watching the videos, watching the VODs, lurking, not lurking. I really appreciate that because yeah, it really helps take the edge off, But anyway, let's move on.
This this field right here didn't used to have anything in it at all. There's like a big garden over here, um, and also there's like another one of those stone round table things, and some like benches and tables. Yeah, they kind of created their own little like community garden slash farm here after I graduated from high school. So yeah, kind of a pleasant little place. So this is
Yeah, not too much to say about the garden. It just, kind of looks pretty. I don't think I've ever really been in there. Like, there's a little path on the other side of it that I've definitely walked down a fair number of times in my life, but that was because my assigned locker was like close to one of the exits that was like right next to that path. So that was like the only time I ever really used that path, I guess. But yeah, I've never really, like just gone and walked on the grass over there because wasn't really a whole lot of point to it, I feel. I do remember seeing people like having events in that space. Like I think there was like either a wedding or someone was like proposing there one time. There's a lot of times where people like bring their dogs and like play fetch or like play frisbee with their kids. So yeah, that space did get used quite a lot back in the day. I don't know about nowadays if people still do that kind of stuff. I mean, there's still quite a bit of space there, but yeah, they've definitely kind of padded it out with a few extra adornments since then. Like, I don't know why they have these like stone round table things everywhere.
Where I went for one of my English classes back in the day, back in high school. And this is where I was told to get a life. And the teacher gave me $3 and sent me to go on a Starbucks run. Crazy. Because she said my writing was too boring. So yeah, that's this. Yes.
Yeah. So that was an interesting uh year. That was like my 12th grade. That was like my final grade of high school. And yeah, in that portable, I had my English class. And yeah, my teacher, she was I don't know. She's a little bit strange because she graded my essay one time and said, "Wow, this writing is so boring. You need to get a life." So she pulled me aside like after class one day, gave me $3, told me to get a life, I quote, and then told me to phone home, let my parents know where I was going, and sent me to go to Starbucks and get myself a coffee so that I could live a regular life like everyone else. And I was just like, huh? I mean, I followed her instructions sort of. I got to the Starbucks and I actually couldn't afford any of the coffees there. And so I ended up like ordering a tea with what she gave me, except even that was slightly too expensive because I didn't account for like tax. And then someone who was there was nice enough to like pitch in, and like they noticed that I was short a little bit, and they're like, "Oh, don't worry, I'll help you pay for the rest of it." And so uh, yeah, they let me spend the $3, and they just kind of added on the rest of the change, which was very nice of them. But yeah, after that happened, my mom was pretty furious. My mom was not happy with my English teacher. So yeah, she got talking to, but um, she did accuse me of stealing a book at some point. Like we were reading Of Mice and Men, like English class. You have to like read short stories and novels and stuff, and like do literary analysis, etc. The usual. And I don't know why, but like I guess my book just wasn't properly tracked, or like they just didn't um, keep track of like the inventory of books properly, because I think every book we had to like sign our name into like a little card in it. And I think the book that I got, the pocket for like slipping the card in was like on the back cover of the book instead of the front cover. And I think for everybody else it ended up being on the front cover, but like I didn't choose the book that I was given. I was like just assigned that book. So I didn't realize that that might cause a kerfuffle later, but yeah, later on I was accused of having stolen the book, and I argued that no, I didn't steal the book, and so she told me to go to some other like classroom, some storage room somewhere, to go and search for this book of Mice and Men, this copy of Mice and Men with my signed name in it, to prove that I have actually returned the book. And so I decided to round up some friends that I had back in high school. Well, I kind of told them my situation, basically, what had happened. And I swore, like, I did actually return the book. I remember explicitly returning the book. And so my friends were, like, really awesome back then. They offered to pitch in and help me search for the book. So, yeah, we went. I think it was maybe, like, 6 or 7 of us. and we all just went into that storage room and we did a divide and conquer search, and we found it. We found the book that had my name signed on the card in it. And so, yeah, I brought that back to prove it. And he said, "Oh, so I heard you brought your little entourage with you." She sounded like so salty that I did that. I was just like, "Look, they offered to help, and divide and conquer is just a smarter way of handling the problem. Like, I'm not gonna sit there and search through stacks and stacks of books on my own. Like, are you crazy? I'm not going to do that. No way." So yeah, that was quite the adventure. But I mean, it worked out in the end. I did actually manage to prove that I returned the book successfully, and yeah, I don't think she really bothered me again after that. But yeah, just a little interesting story from my my final year of high school back in the day.
So this place is, well, that over there is the elementary school that my high school friends all went to. It's not the elementary school that I went to, but we used to play on this like big rope apparatus right there that you can see kind of in the distance in the center there. I don't want to get too close, and I don't feel like I really belong here, but at the same time, yeah, it's the place where I built some of my memories with my old friends, and so I had to just give this a short revisit.
So yeah, there's one thing that I actually got wrong here. I don't think we played on that rope apparatus, if I remember correctly. Like to the left of that apparatus in the center, you probably can't even see it at this distance with the screen being as small as it is, but I could have sworn there was like a dome of like monkey bars that was kind of in front of that. I specifically remember being like inside of that. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm like hallucinating. But no, I swear there was like a dome of like monkey bars. I didn't see that when I looked at this park today. So maybe that was torn down or something. I don't know. But I could have sworn that yeah, that was there instead. But yeah, these were the same friends that helped me find that book. So yeah, this was the high school that most, if not all, of them went to.
Oh, maybe we got some birds here too. Yeah, there's some odd characters around here. Someone just approached me and asked like what someone else was doing, and I was like, I have no idea. Very strange. But yeah, this is a park that no, I didn't go to this park because I didn't go to the elementary school around here, but a lot of my friends in high school did. So yeah, just wanted to show off the angle here. I'm actually just like sitting here on like a bench. Exciting, I know.
So yeah, this is Tecumseh Park. So yeah, the school that I showed off previously there, the one that my friends all went to, that one was called Tecumseh. This is the park that's kitty corner to this elementary school, and it's called Tecumseh Park. And yeah, there's quite a few stories that my high school friends would tell me about this park. Like there were a lot of shady characters that would frequent this park, if I remember correctly. And after today's experience, I kind of don't disagree with that. Like, here I am just sitting at this bench trying to make a little video, and this guy who just reeks of marijuana walks up to me and he starts asking me, like, "You see that lady over there? I've been watching her for a while. What's she doing?" And I was just like, I don't know. It kind of looked like she was like picking up sticks or something. I'm not sure, but like I also was like, I think she might be picking up sticks. And this dude was just like, "Oh, picking up sticks. Yeah. You think she's gonna build like a stick house or something?" This is like, what am I even supposed to say to that? So he just like wished me a good day and left. But I was just like, I don't know, this is kind of weird and freaky. I was a little bit scared that this guy was gonna like try to mug me or something. But like I was holding on to like everything that I had that was valuable pretty tight. So yeah, I don't know. It was just a kind of strange encounter. But I mean, he didn't do anything to me. So, but like just the way that he described like what he was doing, like it sounded like he was just kind of stalking this old lady at the park, and it's just like really weird. Anyway, yeah, that was my little adventure outside. Just wanted to show off some places in the real world that I've been to. Oh, I guess I should mention. Yeah, so I live in Canada. I live in Vancouver, BC, so West Coast, and yeah, these are all places around Vancouver. So yeah, this is not really like new information or anything, by the way, if you're wondering. Um, when I showed my face earlier, that also wasn't really like a face reveal or anything. Like, I mean, you've already seen probably the Chimera Direct video where I've shown my face there, but I also run the Vancouver Rust meetups. It's the Rust programming language, and so yeah, a lot of my information is already kind of out there. But yeah, that's my adventure today. However, I have a little addendum to that because every time I go out on these kinds of excursions, I usually like to do a little bit of birding. So I have a little app called Merlin installed on my phone, and we'll see some screenshots
This
here.
one's for
Oh, wait, hold on. I have a bonus clip. I forgot about this one. Hold on, before we move on. Bonus clip.
you. See ya. Oh my god, he's touching the grass. No way.
Yeah, that was me touching grass. You can't accuse me of not touching grass. There you go. All right. Anyway, Merlin. So yeah, this is the Merlin app. You may have heard of it. It's like it's pretty famous. It's used by a lot of bird researchers, I believe. But I also happen to have several friends and also coworkers that use Merlin. My cousin also uses Merlin. And if you don't know what Merlin is, it's basically an app that allows you to audio or photo ID birds. So, like, if you hear a bird call, it will try to identify that bird. It's pretty accurate. It's very good at picking up bird sounds or bird calls and actually identifying them correctly. Um, it actually has a problem where if there's like a little bit of noise, like if a car drives by or something, even if the bird call is pretty audible, it just won't even attempt to identify it. So you kind of have to go to like more quiet areas to actually get the audio ID to work. But yeah, there's also a photo ID, and the photo ID is kind of interesting. It kind of reminds me a little bit of like playing Pokemon Snap. You take a picture, you try to get like a big picture of the bird, like so you want to make sure it's like centered as well, and usually it's pretty decent at identifying birds. I found the audio ID to be better. The audio ID is definitely more accurate, I would say, but the photo ID can be pretty good at times when like the audio ID just doesn't even work. Like to me, it seems like some birds just don't have their call in like the database or something. So yeah, those birds for some reason I just can't get them to capture through audio ID, and so those ones, the photo ID usually is a much better solution. But yeah, there's effectively like a little Pokédex here, so it's called the life list. Um, at some point, they were calling all the birds lifers, I think. They changed the name, I think, to just life list. But I swear it used to be called like the lifer list. I don't know, but yeah, it reminds me a lot of playing Pokemon Go in a way, but like not Pokemon Go. Like there's no augmented reality or whatever. There's no funny algorithms to like spawn Pokemon near you. No, this is real life. This is real life. These are real birds. You detect them either by taking a photo of them, so you don't like have to throw a Pokeball or anything. It's not as simple as that. You either take a photo of them, like a good photo of them, or you audio ID them. So yeah, I've been collecting birds in my life list. So these are the results from today's session. So this is from my first recording today. I got a house finch. The house finches are pretty common in Vancouver. I caught these before. That's what this little like blue symbol means next to the name. I also got an American crow. Those are also, of course, really common. But yeah, the new ones that I got today. Okay, so yeah, the blue symbol is there for these ones because this is me looking at the session after the fact, so it knows I already have these registered. But I actually only registered these today, so we got the. Oh, I can't actually read this; it's too small. Let me see. What does it say in my on my phone? Let me just pull that up. Do, 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 do. Wait, nope, that's. I don't know why it's so small on my screen. I guess because I'm looking at it in OBS. The red-breasted nuthatch. Yeah, so that's new for me today. And also the violet and green swallow. So those were both birds that I found while I was wandering around at Tecumseh Park. So that was pretty cool. I actually haven't gone birding in the spring specifically. Like I did some birding in like summer and in the fall, kind of tail end of summer of like last year. So yeah, this is kind of new for me. I also mostly only do birding like in the city, so like most of my results are just from wandering around Vancouver, which is kind of crazy. Like that I found as many birds as I have, like so many different varieties. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. So the next page here, we've got another house finch. There are a lot of house finches out today. White crowned sparrows. Those ones I see and hear very frequently. That's not really a surprise to me either. Then we got this ruby crowned kinglet, which was yeah, a new find for me. And a little description that they have for finding that particular bird. It says ruby crowned kinglets look like they've had one too many shots of caffeine. Look for a tiny bird flitting around, nervously flicking its wings. Yeah, I think that one I caught around Gordon Park alongside the red crossbill. So the red crossbill has a little red mark next to it, and that's because it's actually very rare. So yeah, I caught a rare bird for my Pokédex today. And here's the third session. Let's see. Right, so this one, I actually all three of these birds were new, although the European starling I had actually captured earlier in the day through photo ID. I'll show that off later. But yeah, the yellow-rumped warbler was a bird that, though that and the song sparrow were both birds that I found near a different park. And yeah, they're all new to me. So yeah, really cool finds today. And yeah, we can go ahead and look at our entries that we added to our Pokédex here. So like the red-breasted nuthatch, for example, says it's a small, cute, energetic nuthatch. Distinctive with bold black and white head pattern, blue-gray upper parts, and orangey belly. Males are brighter than females, typically found in coniferous or mixed forests, often in mixed flocks with other songbirds. Creeps along tree trunks and branches, often upside down. Nomadic. They sometimes move south in large numbers in fall and winter. Visits feeders. Listen for nasal calls. Yeah, we've got a whole bunch of these little entries. I'm only gonna go over the ones for the new birds that I found today. Yeah, here's the violet green swallow. Where are you? Let me look it up on my phone. A relatively small swallow of western North America. Adult males have a white face and show turquoise green upper parts and a purple rump in good light. Females and immatures are duller on the upper parts, sometimes just dusky gray. In flight, note the prominent white saddlebags extending up from the underparts to the sides of the rump. Fairly common in a variety of open habitats, often foraging over meadows or ponds. Can be seen in large flocks, sometimes mixed with other species of swallow. Breeds as far north as Alaska. Winters primarily in Mexico and northern Central America. Right, and so this is the page for the ruby crowned kinglet. Let's see where that. Tiny, hyperactive songbird with an uneven white eye ring. Plain olive overall, with slightly brighter greenish edges on the wing and tail feathers. The namesake ruby crown is only present on males and usually concealed. When agitated, it can be flared up into a bright, expressive crest. Breeds in coniferous forests. In migration and winter, found in basically any wooded habitat, including deciduous forests, shrubby woodland, and field edges. Often forages quite low to the ground, sometimes joining mixed flocks of other songbirds. Energetic, moving quickly and flicking its wings. Listen for short, harsh call notes, usually doubled, and surprisingly loud song for such a small bird. Compare with Hutton's vireo, which is similar in plumage, but has a thicker bill and forages more sluggishly. Oh, and now we've got the red crossbill. Where are you? You're our rare bird of the day. Very lucky. Stocky, large-headed finch with unique crossed bill used to pry seeds out of conifer cones. Males are dull red or orange overall with gray or brown highlights. Females are dull olive yellow. Immatures are streakier than adults. Look for brownish wings with no wing bars. Different populations feed on different types of conifer seeds. Jipping calls vary subtly throughout populations. Nomadic. Breeds at any time of year, whenever there is enough food available. Often in small flocks. Rarely visits feeders. Right, and got the yellow rumped warbler. Got that yellow butt. One of the most common and widespread warblers, often the core member of mixed warbler flocks during migration, especially early in spring and late in fall. Two main populations. Audubon's breeds mainly in the mountains of the western US and into British Columbia. Okay, yeah, I live in BC. Myrtle breeds from the eastern US across Canada to Alaska. All plumages show a bright yellow rump and yellow on the sides. Most Audubons have a yellow throat, but dull, immature females can be off-white. Myrtle warblers have a white throat that wraps around below the cheek. Both subspecies breed in coniferous or mixed forests, often near clearings or edges. In migration and winter, found in any woodland or open shrubby area, including coastal dunes, fields, parks, and residential areas. Yeah, parks. Often sallies out from a conspicuous perch to snatch insects. Also eats berries in the winter. Calls frequently a flat check for the myrtle, or rising chit for Audubons. Another distinctive sedentary population, surely a separate species, occurs very locally in the highlands of Guatemala. Goldman's warbler. Males are strikingly black overall and show a mostly yellow throat with white corners. Yeah, this one had a pretty distinct call when I was passing by it today, if I remember. It's like two sort of like longer tones. Okay, the European starling. Oh man. Well, I'll show the picture later after this. Once we've gone through all the Pokédex entries. Let's see. Stocky and dark overall with short tail and triangular wings. A close look reveals beautiful plumage. In breeding season, look for purple and green iridescence and a yellow bill. In winter, shows extensive white and buffy spots over the entire body. Juveniles are plain, grayish brown. Note bill shape. Native to Eurasia, introduced extensively across the globe. Okay, so they're like an invasive species. Often abundant, gathering in large flocks in open agricultural areas and towns and cities. Makes a variety of squeaky vocalizations and often mimics other species. Visits feeders, where it is often aggressive towards other birds. Man, you guys are jerks. All right, and finally we have the song sparrow. One of the most common and widespread sparrows in North America. Fairly large with a long rounded tail. Overall, coarsely patterned with gray and brown, usually with more reddish brown wings and tail. Look especially for thick brown streaks on the underparts and a broad, dark mustache stripe. Significant variation in plumage geographically. Relatively pale and rusty in the southwestern US, blacker streaking in California. Overall dusky in the Pacific Northwest. Larger, longer tailed, and usually more rusty than savanna sparrow. Found in a variety of scrubby habitats both near and far from human development, especially edges of fields, often near water. Listen for husky chimp calls and melodic song with chips and trills. All right, cool. So that's all the birds that I found today. So yeah, here's my total life list. I blanked out the locations because I don't they're not really like doxing me, but like I don't know. I feel like maybe it gives you a little bit too much information that you might be able to like deduce stuff from. So I blanked them out just in case. I didn't actually state like where I lived or any in any of these, but like I don't know. I'm a little bit worried. That's all, just a tiny bit, in case like some like expert birder can like deduce where exactly I live somehow from like the birds in my neighborhood. I don't know. So yeah, we've got the Canada goose, ring-billed gull, the glaucous winged gull. I found two types of gulls. The rock pigeon, that's just like a regular city pigeon. It's also called a rock dove. Cooper's hawk. This one's actually kind of rare, I think, if I remember correctly. Like the place I found it, it was like super loud, and it was just like in a bush. But it was right by a busy street, which was crazy. Like I was not expecting to find a hawk like in a bush right by a busy street, but you never know, man. Oops. Hold on. What do we got? Did I accidentally skip some stuff? I think I did. Let me go back. Let's see. At this. Okay, yeah, we got the. Oh, I think I may have skipped over the violet green swallow. That's one that we found today. The northern flicker. That's the annoying woodpecker that I've heard like all my life. It's like always pecking at people's houses, making people wake up. There's the American crow, of course, common raven. Okay, so the common raven, I actually didn't find that in the city, to be fair. That one I found a little bit north at Rice Lake. I was on a fishing trip with my buddy, and yeah, I went and did a little bit of birding while we were, you know, enjoying the placid waters of Rice Lake. But yeah, that one's not a city bird. Although it might be something that you can also find in the city too. I wouldn't be that surprised. American robin, sure, you see those everywhere. Cedar waxwing was one that I was a little bit surprised was common because I've only ever seen it once. I've seen it in like one residential area in a tree. Actually, I saw like an entire family of them, but I've only ever seen that one family ever. But Yeah, no, they're on the list. Bush tits. These were everywhere. I didn't keep every recording session from today because a lot of them were just like duplicates of like old like super common birds, and like the bush tit showed up so often today on my walk. And the black-capped chickadee is also incredibly common. All right. So next we've got the red-breasted nuthatch. That's the one that I talked about earlier because that was a new bird. Bewick's wren or Bewick's wren. I don't know. I don't see those very often. I have to admit. There's the ruby-crowned kinglet that I found today. I actually kind of like how that one looks. There's also the gold crowned kinglet. I found that a while ago, and yeah, that one. I went to like a really, really quiet neighborhood to pick up this one. That one, it was the chirping was so quiet to get this one, and apparently, yeah, they like to live in like some of the the richer neighborhoods in the city. Yellow rumped warbler, which is kind of fitting for the name, like gold crowned kinglet. I don't know. I think that's kind of a little bit funny. Yellow rumped warbler was one that I found today at a park. Chipping sparrow. I think these ones are pretty common. Oh wait, is the chipping sparrow on here? Yeah, it is. Just making sure that I'm not scrolling too far past what I have on the list here. The dark-eyed juncos, those are also super common. Like I found a ton of those today, along with the bush tits. Same with the white-crowned sparrows. That song sparrow is like the first one I've ever seen. That was from today. Spotted towhee. I don't even remember finding that one. That's probably one of those birds I've only seen it like once. House finch. Those are everywhere. Red crossbill was another one from today. And we've got the pine siskin. We just go to the next page here. This is like the end of my list. Yeah, the pine siskin was another rice lake bird that I spotted. Um, the brown-headed cowbird. That one's actually pretty rare, apparently. At least it's known that they live in this province because um, they're like a category. They're like a category C species or something. You're like allowed to kill them if you have a hunting license. It doesn't matter like what species license you have. It doesn't. These are an invasive species, so you're just allowed to kill them as long as you're in like an area where you can legally shoot shoot game. Although, yeah, these are pretty small birds. This one I found on a fence at Gordon Park. So, yeah, very. I think that's a fairly rare sighting. It was kind of like in transit, I think, but it was just resting on that fence, and so I kind of snuck up on it. I think I may have photo ID'd it actually. Yeah, I don't know if I saw that photo actually. Now I think about it, that was a pretty cool find. The cowbirds are bad because what do they do again? They go invade other birds' nests, and they like destroy the eggs. They get rid of all the eggs in the nest, and then they lay their own eggs there, and then they force the original birds to take care of their babies for them. It's really weird and messed up, and they're like an invasive species too. So like, yeah. You shouldn't feel too bad about killing these birds, I guess. Brewer's blackbird. This was another rare bird actually. Um, this one I found in a parking lot. Yeah, it was in like a church parking lot. I was just passing by, and yeah, I saw this bird there, and it's just like, oh, that's like a weird bird. Yeah, it turns out it's a brewer's blackbird, and they're rare. It had the red dot. And yeah, finally the European starling. I don't know why I've never had a European starling before. I guess it's because of the season, but yeah, these birds I have definitely seen them like not just um recently, but like over the years. I can recognize them by sight, but I guess yeah, I just never birded at any of those times where I've seen them, and like I got a photo ID of this one, but I also sound ID'd like several of these today. So yeah, these ones they're just another very common bird. You can find them all over the place, but it seems like they're mostly around during the spring because I just did not find any of these at all during the fall or in the summer. So yeah, we're gonna move on to some photos, I think. So yeah, this is a photo that I took of the Canadian goose. So this is back at my high school, David Thompson, the one that I showed the sign. This is actually like just underneath that sign, and yeah, there's just like a little family of Canadian geese there. I mean these geese are everywhere in Canada. I mean that's why they're called the Canada goose. But you can find these guys in like literally any park that you look at. Okay, maybe not literally any park, but like they're pretty common. There's like one park I know of where there's always like a flock of Canadian geese like dead center, smack dab in the middle of that park. So yeah, finding these guys not exactly hard. They're also not that easy to like scare off either. They kind of just like sit there, waddle around, and you can get close to them, and they don't care. They don't care at all. They also poop all over the place. A lot of people don't really like them. They're kind of pests for some people. But hey, they're geese. What do you expect? Um, apparently, I have been informed from a coworker of mine that there is like this special cackling goose, I think is what they called it. It was like a cackling goose that is very rare, and it likes to hide amongst the Canadian geese. And it looks just like a Canadian goose, but it has like some red markings on it. I have never seen this cackling goose. I've never seen this rare goose. I've only ever seen these Canadian geese. So yeah, apparently it's quite rare. So I like to think of it as like a shiny Canadian goose. So I have not found a shiny goose yet. I've not caught a shiny Canadian goose, but I'm hoping that one day I do. Speaking of birds that I have never found, but I want to find, there's this tiny, tiny little hummingbird that likes to fly around my neighborhood, and I cannot for the life of me get a good picture of it. Like photo IDing it is like almost impossible because it likes to like hide at the top of trees, and they're like not even like the tallest trees around, but it's just such a small bird that even with like maximum zoom on it, I can't get a good enough photo to like properly identify it. But also it like doesn't make enough noise, or like the chirping that it does doesn't get picked up by the app at all when I try to audio ID it. So that's one that I really want to catch. I think it's called the Anna's hummingbird because that's there's like two types of hummingbirds. There's like the Rufus hummingbird, which is like orange, it's the orange one, and there's like the green one. And I think the one in my neighborhood is like the green Anna's hummingbird that I want to be able to get. I want to capture that one. Everybody else I know seems to have it already. Another close friend of mine, he was trying to get that one for a while. Like we were both missing it, and it kept getting away from us. But he finally got his. He finally found his hummingbird, and I still haven't got one. And I think he said that it was just in his backyard. It's just like visited his backyard. It just showed up there, and he just caught it. I was like, man, I wish it was so easy for me, but I'm still on the lookout for that hummingbird. And yeah, here's what the photo ID system looks like. So I took a little picture of this screen. So this is when I was taking a picture of the European starling. So this was just in like someone's yard. So you can even see like the chain link fence and everything. But yeah, I had to like zoom in on the bird and center it. Try to make the bird as big as you can. And that's what it says at the top there. Zoom until you Zoom until your bird fills the box. So my bird didn't fill the box here. This is at maximum magnification, but it was good enough. It was able to identify that as a European starling. This starling was actually just kind of hopping around. It wasn't making any noise whatsoever. So the only way I was capturing this was through photo ID, and this was the first European starling that I managed to photo ID today. Or actually, this is the first European starling that I managed to ID at all in any way. The rest of them I was able to just very easily get like an audio ID of. They're like pecking at trees and stuff, and they made a very distinct like rapping sound. But yeah, this was like the first one that I found, so I felt like I had to like photo ID it in case, like, what if I don't find another one for the rest of the day, right? Like, I don't know. When am I gonna find another one? Well, they're so common. They're everywhere. You're gonna find one. Don't worry. You'll find one. Didn't need to worry about that, but it's kind of nice to be able to get the photo ID for it too. Pretty cool. I wasn't able to get photo IDs for any of the other birds today, but yeah, that was my little excursion today. My birthday excursion, my pilgrimage back to the sites of the past. But yeah, that's it for today. I was not planning to do like a super long stream. Just want to do something a little bit different. It's my birthday. Why not? So I'm gonna be ending stream here. If you're watching the VOD, thanks for watching. And yeah, I also posted a new video earlier today if you're looking for some actual like gaming content. Because yeah, I know maybe this isn't like what everybody's interested in, but I did play a little game called Convergence by Alex Diener, the creator of Leaf's Odyssey. So yeah, do check that one out. It's an hour long, but yeah, I think I had a pretty good time with that game, and I think it's actually a pretty cool game. It's not a puzzle game or anything like that, but it's a dungeon brawler, whatever that means. You'll see, I guess, when you watch the video. Yeah, that's it for today. Thank you all for checking out this video slash stream. Doesn't seem like there's anybody here today, or if there are, then they are lurking, and I can't see my CCV right now. But yeah, if you're watching the VOD, thank you for stopping by and listening to me talk about life, birds. But yeah, see ya.